Okay. Hi, everyone. And we are here today with Ivan, who is the husband of Nora. Now, those of you who follow Patreon have gotten to see the special treat that Lily posted, which was actually, Ivan, I'll let you tell us about it because it's nice to hear it in your words.
No, I appreciate it. So the backstory, for those of you who have looked at it, I've been going through cancer treatment, end of June, got diagnosed, went into surgery right away. Kind of a whirlwind, immediately went into chemo right after surgery. Chemo's over, but once you're in chemo, it's kind of bedridden, really fatigued. So one of the things that we were doing was 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗱𝗵𝗁, my wife Nora. She was really into it, and that was kind of her out. I think it gave her a social structure, it gave her something to a community in a time of quarantine and less social interaction. So her birthday was coming up, being bedridden. I was like, I'm gonna be the bad husband. I had cancer, going through that, and I still was like, what am I gonna do? So I took a Hail Mary pass and kind of I contacted Lily through Instagram. I had to find all of her contact information. Submitted that, and she responded back immediately, very positive. I pulled her fanfic, which I had to squirrel away out of the computer, sent it to Lily, all this behind her back, trying to hide all the scripts and everything. And I have 25, 26 emails back and forth with Lily, just figuring out like timeline, how we're going to coordinate this, what delivery method. She sent me, rough drafts. It was really fun. And in the end, Nora really enjoyed it. And obviously she hates attention. So I told Lily, yes, it has to go public across the site, and Lily didn't disappoint. So,
well, I'll tell you, we we're very happy that she did post it on Patreon because we loved it. I mean, the cartoon itself was great and it was funny, and people. You'll hear a little bit more about our lust for Torah later, but people definitely loved that visual of him. And more than that, for me, what I loved was, that whole story that you just related, that, that really touching story of what how you showed appreciation, and then, how both of you were there for each other. So it was, we come to 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗱𝗵 because of the romance and the affection between the two characters. So it was perfectly fitting to see that between you two. Yeah, and we're grateful also to Lily for doing that. I think that was very nice of her.
Oh yes. Absolutely. Sent her a picture of the two of us to show her who she'd actually helped. That was her first time actually seeing who we were. So yeah, she good people.
Yeah. And I have to say, as somebody who I've been on the Patreon for a couple of months since I found 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗱𝗵𝗁, I always notice your wife's comments because your wife leaves very insightful comments. So she's definitely one of the names that stuck in my head even before this this beautiful cartoon.
Yeah.
So compliment to your wife.
Yeah, I will pass it along.
Yeah, she knows. I've quoted her on the podcast a couple of times by now. So yeah, okay. I give her praises.
Okay.
Okay, so actually let's get into when did you were talking, you mentioned a little bit about what 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗱𝗵𝗁 did for Nora, but when did she start reading 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗁, and how much did she involve you in that?
Initially, I mean, I'd probably say she was probably about the same time you were. You were like a couple months, probably a little more than that. She was reading one that was about the Greek gods.
Yeah, 𝗨.
Yes, there you go. So she was real into that one. I think she kind of stumbled across 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗁, kind of this things you might like, and she backed herself all the way to the beginning and just started going through it episode by episode, and obviously found the other sites, Patreon, the Secret Garden, all that other stuff that goes through. Yes, right. And so she found all of it and kind of absorbed it all. But that was, I'd probably say, a couple months, maybe more than that, beginning of the year-ish, somewhere in there, February maybe. But yeah.
So does she involve you in 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗁? Like, do you read 𝗦𝗽𝗶𝗶𝗵𝗁? Does she make you read it? Does she talk about it with you?
So I do not have a account for it, but when she has to watch, she has to look at the episode first. Those are the rules. And then, she's begrudgingly do you want to look at it. And I tell her every time, you know, if it's something you enjoy, you know, I give it a try, right? And I really enjoyed the art style. The story is really good. It's not, it doesn't take a long time to read through it. It's pretty quick per episode. So it's just something that we can enjoy. And, you know, like a 20-minute time span, you know, it's very easy, especially with so many kids running around.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
We have 4.
4.
And 2 dogs. So our house is a zoo. So I guess I like to put it.
Yep, I get it. I have 2, and I think a lot about having more, and for multiple reasons. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. But I grew up in a house with like more kids. So depending on like the different time periods, because they're like staggered. So I kind of say like I grew up with 2 brothers, but then I had another 2 afterwards. So whatever. But I don't count them so much because like we didn't grow up together. Anyway. But yeah, I know there's like a lot of nice things about having a lot of siblings. But anyway, this is a digression. We're not here to talk about family size. So when Nora reads Midnight Poppyland, how does she do it? Does she have like a routine? Do you hear her shrieking? Does she like push all of you away?
She yes, she likes to go and hide. And I think it's because she wants it's her own quality time. It's her bubble. She wants to enjoy it, and of course, the second she disappears, it's where's mom. So so I have to, we'll call it run interference, and try and coordinate the kids. I think around like 9 o'clock is usually when the episodes hit. Yeah. Our time. So but you'll hear sitting in her chair, kind of snickering to herself, laughing. She'll laugh out loud. And ultimately, whenever it's done, it's interesting just when the story, the way, if it takes a turn, or if, you know, the one where, you know, it talks about Tora where he's having a nightmare. I think that hit a lot of people pretty hard. It kind of triggered a lot of people. It's interesting that something like that can evoke that kind of emotion where it's it kind of drives your mood, and it's but ultimately she enjoys it. But
yeah. Do you remember if you remember that episode where they said goodbye, like episode 39, where after they spent all night like on the cliff, they said goodbye to each other?
Oh yeah, where they're at the I keep on, I think it's where they're at, like looking at the skyline, and they're in like kind of it's almost a bridge type highway structure.
Yeah. So after that was devastating. I think I like cried for 3 hours. Not joking.
Yeah.
So yes, it was quite impactful.
Yes.
So well, you read it, so let's hear. How would you synopsize Midnight Poppyland in like 1 line?
Oh man. I mean, it's almost like I want to say star-crossed lover type setup, but I mean, that's kind of what I akin it to is, you know, you have this, you know, woman who has had her life collapse in around her, and he's not necessarily a white knight, but he's somebody who she's just pulled toward. She gravitates toward him, and I mean, he's a big guy, you know, she's. I think the original episodes, you know, she's thinks that he's after her, you know, trying to get something from her and attack her. But then she can't stop thinking about him, and it's just one thing after another, and they just keep stumbling on each other. But yeah, I think the star-crossed lovers, especially the episode you just related to, right? It's just they both know what's coming, and they just don't want to let go of each other.
Oh, I'm a little emotional at that. So, question: as a husband, are you jealous of Tora?
So I mean, I'll openly tell you. I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, if you don't look at that guy and go, like that's a guy. But I mean, I get it. No, I mean, I think that everyone should. I mean, I think everyone has their, hey, if you were, you know, given the option, would you, you know, run off with them kind of thing. But he is not someone I would be intimidated by just because he's a fictional character. In real life, I think anyone would be intimidated by him based on just how he would look. And I think Lily drives that home pretty well in a comic book.
Right. So another way that I think Tora actually does fulfill like people's romantic fantasies, and in a safe way. I honestly like feel that it's good to get all your crushing out on something that can't actually happen. So another way that possibly people's lives have been enhanced with Midnight Poppyland, what do you think of the Secret Garden tier in Patreon? How has it changed your life, if at all?
I would say it is a mood enhancer. We'll go with that. But I mean, I think that it's, I think you can enjoy looking at, especially in comics and anime type stuff, you can enjoy the art that gets put into that. And I like it. I appreciate it. I mean, she shows me it too. It's always, do you want to see the Secret Garden? You know, like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, I always know when the Secret Garden's out. So.
Yep. Same here. My husband definitely appreciates the existence of the Secret Garden. I'll say that. Okay, so I'm going to show you now a whole bunch of characters. I'm going to share my screen, and let's see if you can tell me first their name and anything about them. And then it goes from like more common to more obscure, so it gets harder as it goes along. And yeah, if like, I might just, you know, if you don't know their name, I'll tell you their name, see if that rings a bell, etc. So, okay, let's share my screen.
This is exciting.
Yep. Okay, number one.
Oh man. It's not Alice. No, that's I want to say
it's a bit of a trick.
That's Lily.
This one. That's Lily, that's right.
Yeah. I was
actually a character.
I was like, that's her thing. Yeah, that's right.
That's a representation. Okay, now we'll start with really easy. So, you know, you get points for this.
Okay. So that's Poppy.
Okay, and what can you tell us about Poppy?
So like I said, so Poppy, she works for a publishing company. She's got two friends, Jacob and Arden, I think.
Yep.
And obviously knows Tora, but she's kind of just a striving publicist, I think, which I'm trying to remember the words, but that's what she works for.
She works for a publishing company. Yep. Okay. And next we have our other main character.
So Tora, obviously. So he's Quincy's bodyguard. He's part of the 𝗪𝗲𝗱 clan. Obviously, based on the episode, you can make the assumption he was picked up at a young age. I would, just from the conversations that he has with other members, it seems like they were all kind of recruited at a young age, runaways and cast-offs. So yeah, that's him.
Yep, you got it. And who's this snazzy young gentleman?
Quincy. So this is 𝗙𝗵𝗱 𝗪𝗏. So he goes by QB, I want to say Naruto.
Nyoko, that's right. I think you're kind of like, you're doing the Naruto and erotic, you know, you're merging those two.
Okay.
He writes erotic literature. So.
He is part, kind of the, I guess from I want to say next in line from his dad. I think it's Vincent. So, that's his role.
Yep. Okay, who's this blue-haired fella?
Goliath. That's Goliath.
Yep. That's right. And who is Goliath?
I don't know a lot about Goliath. Like I've only seen him in parts of the episodes. He's part of the clan. I believe he's got the tattoos, same as Tor. He's got some version of the tattoos, but I'm not 100% about for him.
Okay, so Goliath is someone that Tora grew up with, who betrayed him fairly recently to the police, and he's the one who calls him in the first episode and asks him to come save him, and that's how. And he's the one whose notebook it is that everybody's looking for.
Okay. Okay, yep. So that's the one that Poppy picked up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we don't know, we're trying to figure out where the notebook is, and we don't know what happened with Goliath. I'm assuming he'll come back to the plot and be like a major part, especially because he and Tora may be related. They definitely grew up together. They kind of look like brothers as well. Nobody knows. We're very curious.
Yeah, they definitely share a lot of the same structure, at least.
Yeah, features, their eye color, their facial structure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. A lot of people also find him handsome, so that's why they want him back. Okay, who's he?
Oh man. He was just on one of the most recent episodes. Is he the son of Candy? No.
Oh, you're mixing him up with someone else who will come later, so remember that.
Well, I can't remember his name. I do not know who this person is.
Okay.
I'm gonna
𝗪𝗪, does that ring a bell? 𝗪𝗪.
The name, yes, but I'm drawing a blank on his role.
Okay, sure. So he's one of Tora's friends from the clan. He's like the tech guy from the clan. He's actually a really sweet guy. I don't know how he got into the clan, but he's just a really nice friend to Tora, loyal, and works at a million restaurants all over the city.
Oh, is this okay? So this is the guy who, like, when Tora comes in, I forget what episode where Tora comes in and he's got like a baseball cap and some other stuff. Poppy's all dressed up. He talks to him because he brings him like a steak and and he's like, just trash it, put it on my tab. I just didn't know his name. Okay.
Yep, that's him.
Okay.
He's also the one who gives Tora the motion detector to install outside of Poppy's apartment. He gives him new phones. He helps to research who Poppy is. He is like the tech whiz and just all around loyal friend to Tora.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And who is this guy?
So that's Quincy's dad. So that's Vincent 𝗪𝗯𝗱. So I'd say the head of the 𝗪𝗯𝗱 clan. Kind of a auxiliary father, I guess, to Tora is kind of like,
yeah, in a
father figure,
very twisted way.
Yeah, in a very twisted way. But he has Tora watching Quincy's back.
Yeah. And yeah, he also is the one who like raised Tora to be the dog and just follow his commands and do whatever horrible thing he wants him to do.
Yeah.
Okay, and who is she?
Okay, so that's Alice.
Yep.
That's who I confused in the beginning. So I like her. Her episodes were pretty funny where they have a meal upstairs in her establishment. I keep wanting to think it's like a grandmother type referral or like a grandmother type figure. But she's pretty funny and she doesn't take anything from anybody. It's what it seems like. She's a very opinionated lady and she doesn't hold back.
Yeah, she was definitely, like you said, the tough love grandmother for Tora. He worked for her when he was a teenager, and I think she had that perfect blend of love, but also tough love, because too much love, I don't think Tora would have been able to accept at that stage in his life. He was too tough. So somebody who was rough on the outside, but nice on the inside, I think was perfect for him. Yeah.
Yeah, she, I remember that one. She would give like a present or give a compliment, but then also say something that would, almost akin to showing the baby pictures, to the date kind of thing, and embarrass him as best she can.
Yep. Okay, who's this guy?
I want to say I know he and Alice interacted, or think they did, but I do not know the name.
Okay, so his name is Joe. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay, so you're correct that he and Alice interacted. He's actually Alice's son.
Okay.
And he apparently, Alice tells us that he was involved in the clan, I don't know which clan, when he was younger. And now clearly when he became older, he became a police officer, but he appears to be dead now. We don't know how. We do know that Tora wears his ring and bracelet. He was some kind of mentor figure to Tora when he was a teenager. My theory is honestly that Tora was involved in his death somehow. But we'll find out, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, honestly, to me, just it seems like poetic justice. And also, when Tora is at Alice's restaurant, he removes his ring and bracelet. So I don't know if it's just because he doesn't want Alice to be reminded of her son in general, or if it's because he had to kill him for the clan. I don't know, but it's probably very tragic.
So I remember that part. I almost think that when he took it off, it was almost like a respect thing, right? It's like something happened. Either he did something that caused it, or he knows somebody who caused it and he wears it as a reminder and he takes it off for respect type thing.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finding out. It'll probably be like a stab in the heart, but I do want to know.
Yeah. I mean,
also appreciate stabs in the heart sometimes. Like this.
Oh, Lily.
Okay, who is she?
Kept wanting to say Aaron. 𝗟𝗶𝗱𝗆, she works at the publishing company with Poppy. I can't remember. I said her name
before, or Dean.
Or Dean, that's what. Yeah. So yeah, she just had a kind of a big scene in, I think, the last episode.
Yeah.
Where we actually had a big discussion about that one, where it almost seems, because I guess she doesn't know Poppy has a thing for Tora, they were a thing, and the last thing she was saying to Poppy is, what she was saying, but it almost is like trying to throw her off the trail of Tora is kind of the feel I get from that conversation. I don't know.
Yep. Okay, and who's this guy?
That is Jacob. He also works at the publishing company. We joke around that Jacob pretty much pooped his pants when Tora showed up. That was kind of, there was a lot of that face. That was good. But he, I think he called, I forget what episode, but he pretty either inferred that Poppy was fat or they called her fat, and Tora knows that. So there's this call it a very palpable tension between the two of them.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad for Jacob. Like, he put his foot in his mouth once and he's on Tora's hit list forever.
Yes, and that's not a hit list anyone wants to probably be on.
Yep. Okay, who is he?
The faceless.
Yep, faceless right now, to add a little extra challenge.
I remember him in the episodes, but I can't. It's like these auxiliary characters, I just can't. It's too much going on. I honestly, I don't know this one.
Okay, do you recognize the environment?
This isn't the publishing company.
It is. It's the publishing company.
It's just from it's from the other angle, like pretty much from what you would normally see. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so this is Gil, and he's Poppy's boss at the publishing house.
Okay.
And he's the one who we think the notebook is in his possession, because he kind of like trips Poppy up with that. So yeah, we think he has a notebook. We think there's some shady stuff going on there. We'll find out.
Okay.
And yeah, that accounts for like the dark setting of the previous picture. Okay, who is she?
Does she work at the publishing company too?
Nope.
No. I'm drawing a blank again. I'm not doing so good. I started out strong, and like you said, it's getting harder and harder. And I'm not doing so good.
You did 1, 2, 0 to 11 quite well, so you're great. This is Lane. Does that ring a bell? Okay, so she is the police officer that Poppy went to the day that Tora took a picture of her, and she also seems to know Tora because she gives Tora a call when she and Poppy are at the restaurant. He and Poppy are at the restaurant. Tora then gets offended. If you remember, he like puffs away and he was like, you know Lane, how do you know Lane? And he gets like, they were having a great time, and then he realizes she went to the police about him, so he feels like offended and insulted. So yeah, so there's some kind of connection between him and between Tora and Lane, because he has her saved in his phone.
Yeah,
So we're thinking.
Yeah, so okay, so it's kind of coming back to me. That plays into the what happened to Alice's son, or what happened to the police officer. Kind of is maybe that could be part of it too. You know?
Yeah, possibly. He also, we know that Tora was arrested, so possibly she has something to do with like his parole. Maybe he's a double agent at this point. We don't know. But intriguing.
Yeah, but man, what a twist that'd be. Like,
yeah. Okay. Who is this fella?
This is the gentleman who I want to say gets kidnapped, or Poppy assumes gets kidnapped. Lamb, Mr.
Yeah,
Lamb.
You got it, Mr.
Okay.
Lamb.
So this, yeah, she sees him get like whisked away in a car. I think she's trying to nail him down as a client, and keeps getting frustrated because of her. He keeps getting like run away and stuff. And I remember, was it a picture that she brings him?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Paints him a painting.
Yeah, a painting. That's what it is.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, he's very appreciative of that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Tora becomes her delivery boy and drives to the airport to deliver the painting.
Yes.
Yeah, he's cute. Okay, good job. Who is this guy?
That's not. I want to say the person behind him that's younger Poppy. Is that what that is?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's not her. I think that's her dad, isn't it?
Yep, that's her dad.
I don't know the name.
Yeah, we don't know his name either. He's just dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll probably get more information on him later. I suspect that there's some knowledge of clan awareness or something with her dad, because if you remember, right after the scene, they see this white van driving along on the road underneath them. And that's the white van that Tora and his friends are probably in when they're teenagers. And he was like, oh, we got to get down from this tree. And Pop was like, why? And he's like, oh, they might climb the tree. They might fall down, like some weird excuse that doesn't really make sense. So yeah. I'm assuming there's something fishy going on there. Okay, so we'll see more.
Okay.
Okay, who is this person?
This isn't who Quincy is involved with, is it? No. Yet?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Remember her name?
It's escaping me.
It's a classic
Quincy
Roman
says it all
name
the time.
well. What?
Huh? Quincy says it all the time. I can't remember.
Yeah, Cordelia, Cordy.
Yeah, Cordy. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. So what's Cordy like? Yeah. What did Quincy bring her to the restaurant for?
That's where Tora's sick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, man, I can't remember. I know Tora. All I remember is Tora collapses. He's just being a big old jerk, and he's wearing like nothing you normally would wear. He's in like go-to sweatpants and a hoodie, pretty much, and is very grumpy. I can't remember why he brings Cordelia out on the date, but that's where Poppy, where he signs her publication stuff too, right? Like he just he signs it, and then he has to like backpedal and make it official the next episode.
Yep.
I can remember all these details. I just can't remember that.
Yeah, so Cordy is like his, we see him in bed with her, and they seem to be having like this fling. Not serious because, Quincy still calls himself a bachelor, but Quincy appears to have brought Cordelia to the date to kind of go Tora and, spur his jealousy of Poppy, and also to assess like whether Tora cares about Poppy, because Cordy seems to be an observant person.
Yeah.
Okay. And who is this person?
So Candy.
Yep.
Okay, so Candy's stripper, and a mom. I know that that from the one episode. And that's pretty much all I know about Candy is when strip club, and then the one episode where she comes out and is, talking to her son.
Okay, speaking of who is this? Kind of gave it away, but
that's Candy's. So it's Candy's son.
Yep. And remember his name?
No, I know that. I keep playing the episode. So he's the one who is he trying to sell something, or yeah? So he's trying to do that, and that's where he gets his mom surprises him, and he tells his friends that that's his sister.
Yep.
I remember that part. And then they storm off from each other, but I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got his whole history right. He apparently stole Poppy's pin, and the night that she saved him / endangered him at Club Miracle, which is this scene, and he's trying to sell it to get his mom out of the nightclub. Okay, so we're getting into the last couple are pretty obscure. Who is this guy?
Honestly, I have no clue who that is.
Okay. Context clues, does that give you anything?
I mean, looks like someone who would be part of the clan.
Yep, you're right.
Tora's posture changes whenever he's around clan members, I've noticed. So, but I cannot place this person. No.
Okay, well, his name is Claude. And if you remember in the scene right afterwards, he kind of challenges Tora here, and then Tora, kind of basically chokes him and then smokes directly in his eye and burns his eyes, and threatens him. Yeah, okay. Claude wants to start up with him, but doesn't realize. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, we're in the weeds now.
Yeah. Okay, who's this guy? You should have some context clues here also.
Yeah, so you've got, I believe that's Mr. Lamb next to him.
Yep.
He's got a 𝗪𝗏 tag on his neck. Was he one of the group that kind of shuffled him away in the episode?
Yep, definitely. His name is Sharsh. Sharsh.
Okay.
And yeah, he's somebody who was planning on killing Mr. Lamb, basically, and he's portrayed as a psychopath who enjoys killing just for the sake of killing.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of assuming he's gonna feature heavily in the dangerous part of the story, because of his nature. Okay, this guy. This one's Claude, by the way, from 2 pictures ago, and
now I got it. Now,
very obscure.
Yeah, if I didn't know Claude till now, I'm not gonna know. They're in the club.
Yeah.
That's Club Miracle, right? Okay. I do not know who this is.
Okay, so his name is Xing-Ma, and a reason I kind of put him in is because there's a couple of people, believe it or not, who have latched onto Xing-Ma and have kind of a crush on him, and he's their favorite character, even though he appears basically twice and there's very little characterization of him. But this wonderful writer, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙 erotic fan fiction with him and 𝗪𝗏. And anyway, so some people like him. So anyway, just put him in there.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, and this last guy you might recognize from 2 places.
Oh man. You burned me out. All my confidence is gone. I don't even remember. I don't even remember this.
So His name is 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗍, and in the cartoon, he appears, 𝗠₂ has jacked his car in order to go to Poppy's apartment. And then he also he returns the car and he pays for all his bills. So that's where he appears in the cartoon. But he also appears in one of the secret gardens. I'm not going to go more into that because that's like paid content, but he plays a hilarious role in the secret garden, and everybody who read that was so excited when he appeared in the cartoon. So that's why he's here, because he's really funny.
I want to make sure I'm not going to get anyone in trouble for like talking about like the latest episode. Am I?
So I'm not gonna release it until after that episode has gone out, I guess. I mean, I could edit it. I could. You're not the only one who's talking about FastPass content, so I could either edit it out, or I'll probably just wait a couple of weeks until it's out.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because I don't want to get you in trouble.
No. I'm pretty aware of like what's FastPass content and what's not. So like it'll probably just be easier for me to just wait a few weeks. So
yeah.
Okay. So now this other thing, this is not exactly identifying a character, but it's a meme that 𝗏𝗏 has made. 𝗏𝗏 makes funny Midnight Poppyland memes. So I want to show it to you, and let's just see what your answer to this question is. Poppy's mom suspect. Which of these do you think Poppy's mom is?
So pretty much everyone in here.
Okay, so you get why this is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but the fandom has been speculating ever since we saw that picture of Poppy's mom on Poppy's desk. Everyone's like, is this Poppy's mom? Is this Poppy's mom? Is this Poppy's mom? So 𝗏𝗏 went ahead and put in, basically, she just threw every single female that ever appears in Midnight Poppyland, even like the passerbys on the street, and just like, these are all her mom.
Oh, yes.
So do you actually have a theory about which one do you think Poppy's mom is, or you're blank?
I honestly, I don't. I do think it's funny though, because I forgot that there's no real definitive who her mom is. There's only the stuff about her dad, really. So.
Yep, and we have everybody here. I like. I'll show you what Lily said to this. Lily wrote, where is that? Actually, Poppy's mom is 𝗏𝗏. So yes, so she found this funny as well.
Yeah, she's just trolling everybody.
Yeah, I do have a theory, at least with you see this red lady here? I call her the red lady.
Okay.
When you see this picture of Goliath, you'll notice that everyone else in the picture is faceless, but she has a face. So I don't know if she's Poppy's mom, but she's definitely important in some way.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't even think about that. That she's at least trying to draw attention to it.
Yeah, we didn't notice this at all until we saw Poppy's mom, because they kind of have the same expression and the same like fierce expression and the gray eyes. So then we were like, oh my gosh, do you remember 20 episodes ago? Yeah. So 𝗙𝗏𝗍 details that don't seem relevant until way later.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's why we got, you just got to reread the Poppyland regularly.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you 7 words, and let's see what associations you have with them. Okay. Some of them might be pretty obvious. Tiger.
So that's 𝗏𝗏.
Yep. Okay, easy. Strawberries.
I could say the hair clip that 𝗏𝗏 wears. So.
Yep. Any other tie? Do you know like why the strawberries are mentioned in another time, or why Poppy would have strawberries?
Isn't that like a childhood memory? I can't remember.
Yeah. So Poppy in that picture, when she's a kid, she's drinking strawberry juice, and 𝗏𝗏 appears to have met Poppy. It seems it could be Poppy in that picture with the band with his friends. He's in the background helping this little girl who has strawberry juice. And Quincy later mentioned, he's like, oh, he hasn't gotten over a strawberry girl. So it's possible they met when they were younger and there was some kind of connection. And 𝗏𝗏 now, likes strawberry juice. He drinks a lot of strawberry juice and strawberries. So there's some kind of plot over there. And that's why like the entire Midnight Poppyland fandom now has like strawberry accessories and strawberry pajamas and also strawberry hair ties, and strawberry themed items have spiked since Midnight Poppyland.
Yes. I've noticed on that regard.
Yeah, has Nora purchased strawberry items?
She does face masks for people. She has a bunch of cloth that she's bought that's either poppies or kind of like fruit themed and stuff like that. So
that is so cute.
Got stuff like that.
So she probably got some with the next word, which is avocado.
I know that she tried to explain the avocado thing to me, and I didn't. I'm a bad husband, but she has avocado fabric too. I don't know the reference though.
Yep. So I'm assuming does she have a dancing hula hooping avocado?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So Poppy's avatar on her messaging app is a dancing avocado with a hula hoop, and she also, when she's Googling the volume and organization, after Tora gives her the card, you see on her search history there's a link for like avocado advocates. So she apparently was trying to save the avocados or something like that. So yeah, that's the avocado connection. Okay, next one, hamster.
I'm moving you.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Does this give you a clue?
So burned out. No.
Okay. So Tora calls Poppy a hamster, like when she feels like this. And he like pinches her cheeks.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, he keeps going like this to her. Calls her a cute little hamster. Or he actually calls her a feisty little hamster. Sorry.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Red pin. Kind of mentioned this before already.
The red pin, that's the now all I want to do is talk about Tora's strawberry hair tie that Poppy gave.
It is hair related, so you're on the right track.
I'm on the right path, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so we were talking about Benjamin and the pin that he stole. So Poppy wore this red pin when she went to Club Miracle. It looks very reminiscent of the Volumen clan symbol. So, and it seems as though she got that pin from maybe her mother, because she talks about it being important to her after she can't find it. Benjamin stole it. He's trying to sell it. We're thinking maybe it belonged to her mom, and her mom was involved in the clan or an opposing clan. And, Benjamin selling it will kind of like raise the suspicions of some dangerous people in the underworld. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Okay, jackfruit.
I know you can use it to make fake pulled pork.
Yep. As someone vegetarian, I knew that.
Yeah.
But not related to Midnight Poppyland like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not doing good on these.
That's okay. Okay, so do you remember when Tora threw her his sweatshirt after her shirt tore on the train?
Yeah, in the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah. So she was walking around with his sweatshirt that day, and she kept, thinking to herself, oh, something smells really nice. And then she like sniffs the sweatshirt, and she was like, oh, and she's like, oh, it's nice cologne. And then she like is totally embarrassed because she realizes that she's essentially sniffing Tora. So later on, when she is outside Alice's restaurant, she's sniffing the tree, and Tora tells her it's fake. And she's like, yeah, I know, I have a sense of smell. Just like I could smell your jack. And then she doesn't want to continue and admit that she smelled his jacket. So she's like, you're jackfruit. So Tora then makes fun of her afterwards. And we kind of use stand-in, like jackfruit is like a stand-in for her being attracted to him sexually. So, yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I got that. Yeah, I remember that scene. I just don't remember the jackfruit reference. Yep.
And as well, as you could probably guess, people like using any fruit, vegetable shape is like an innuendo. Speaking of which, gray sweatpants. That's the last word.
Sick Tora.
Yeah.
I would say the scene where he's sitting there in his sweatpants in his house, his apartment,
Yep.
where there's the scene cuts away to where he's got a magazine like conveniently over his lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the blanket, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had to look up Gray Sweatpants memes afterwards. I wasn't aware until I saw the entire fandom talking about it, but it was funny. Has
Gray
Nora
Sweatpants
been requesting
season.
Gray Sweatpants?
It's Gray Sweatpants season, yes.
Yep. It's funny. Okay, so we finished with our funny part, and now just the last question on how has Midnight Poppyland changed yours and Nora's lives?
Well, I think based on what we discussed at the beginning, I mean, I think it's brought us closer together. It's given us something to relate to. Everything on my plate, still trying to find time to enjoy what she enjoys, and I think that's the key to most happy relationships is don't close somebody out and don't patronize them for enjoying something that might be a little bit different, because you never know, you might enjoy it too. I enjoy it whenever I can read it. I'm not as in depth as she is, but I think I did okay. I think I did.
Yeah, no, I think you did great. We have comparing you to the other ones, you're exactly on par, exactly average, I guess.
You can tell me I'm the best. It's okay. It's fine. It's just between you and I and everyone watching. So.
I can't. Yeah, no, I think you were average. Sorry.
I understand.
But it's fine. Average is good. There's nothing wrong with being average. It's fine. It's really it's gonna be funny. Like that part will just be funny. But obviously, like the part that I hope is meaningful for both you and for me and anybody watching it is, to hear about like the emotional part about what it means to you and like how it's changed your life. I think that's, and especially your story is, more poignant. So, I appreciate you sharing that. And don't worry about your score or whatever.
No, I'm just playing. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I felt like I did better than I thought it was going to. So
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you definitely were able to describe, a lot of people. So even if you don't know their names or something, you were able to tell us who they were. So it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I know my kids want to do one now. They want me to quiz them. I'm like, you have to read it. They're like, yeah, we read it. My kids unfortunately don't read. So I'm trying to I'm like, yeah, I'll do an episode with you. If you read it, I'll do one with you. I'll quiz you as well. Because they saw me doing these interviews and they wanted to participate. But I don't know. So far they haven't taken the bait and read it yet.
Yeah, they our older two read Cursed Princess Club.
Okay, I haven't read that one, but I've seen it.
That one's pretty good. I would recommend it. It takes a minute to get into it. I lost track of it, but the kids and Nora still watch that one. We call it her stories. She has all the comics hit at like 9:00 at night, so she's got to go through all of them.
Nice. Okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, I'm so kind of desperate for my kids to read that I'm willing to let them read this comic even though it has a ton of curse words. I'm like, just read, but they're not doing it. So, oh well. They do know who 𝗏𝗏 and Poppy are. They hear me talk about it a lot. So
yes.
Yeah, it's cute. And they always know they're supposed to not interrupt when I'm doing a podcast, but they come in anyway. Although they're old enough to be quiet. So they come in, but they zip their mouth. So it's good.
Yeah, I had to lock the door. The door for mine. I can hear the dogs on the outside because they're waiting. Right. Dad's alone, and they need to hang out with me.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I thought I heard some dogs too.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Ivan. I really, really appreciate your coming and taking the time and sharing your story. It was fantastic meeting you, and thanks so much for coming.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you for having me.
Yep, and thanks once again for that fantastic cartoon you commissioned. It was very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, from what I understood, a lot of people enjoyed it. So.
Yes. Yep. Well, thank you so much, Ivan. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.